been a fucking while.
It has been
3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. We had a pretty long stretch of doing this every weekend. How long did we do this every weekend for?
Maybe like 6 or 7, 6, I think.
6 weeks. Damn, it feels like a lot longer than that.
It doesn't feel like that much.
You don't think so?
It doesn't feel like that much, but it also feels like a lot.
It feels like a lot to me. Like, when was the first one we did in my basement?
Yeah, that was a while ago.
That was a while ago.
I would look, but I can't even connect to the Wi-Fi.
That's annoying. Why can't you get on the Wi-Fi? Is it just not? This Wi-Fi here has always been so shitty.
This is the first time it's ever been like this, though. For me.
I always had trouble connecting when I came with my laptop anyway. Did you see the Daniel Cormier fight?
No. I usually watch pay-per-views. Like, I find a live feed on the internet somehow.
On the stream?
But I was already tired and kind of pissed that LSU lost. So I was like, hopefully I'll wake up and the headline will be Daniel Cormier gets knocked out.
You wanted him to
But
lose?
I woke up. It didn't tell me what happened, but I Googled Daniel Cormier,
mm-hmm.
and it showed, like, Derek Lewis and Cormier was, like, highlighted in green. And I just rolled my eyes and went back to bed.
You're like, again?
A choke. Then I watched the fight, like, today, earlier.
I meant to watch the highlights. I didn't get around to it.
That fight was so horrible.
Was it weak?
There was, like, 5 total punches, like, standing up.
What?
They punched each other on the ground, but nobody punched each other standing up.
Bullshit, dude. He's like, I can't tell if he's a good fighter or not. I think he's a good fighter. He's just not like a fun fighter to watch.
He's a good fighter for sure, but
it's just like he's not fun to watch.
Yeah.
You know, like especially with the Stipe fight, Stipe Miocic.
Mm-hmm.
That last one we talked about. Even that was kind of boring. Like,
yeah.
He knocked him
out.
out.
He was getting his ass beat too.
He was getting his ass kicked, and then he knocked him out.
People are just like that though, where they're just boring. Like Khabib was 26-0, and I didn't fucking know until the McGregor fight.
Right.
I never heard of him before in my life.
I still don't know if he's gotten his like winnings from that game.
I think they're withholding like $2 million. It said, Jesus. In case he gets sued, so they can just like pay that money with that money.
I see.
I don't know when it's finalized though.
Dude, that was fucking crazy when he jumped into the crowd. That shit was wild.
It was like almost expected though. There was too much tension in that fight.
Mm-hmm. It was.
There's no way he could have just won. They raised his arm and then like that was it. There's no way. Something had to happen.
It was emotionally fueled. It was so emotionally fueled, dude. I think we make the worst decisions when we're like fueled by emotion.
Yeah.
Or at least we make like rash decisions, you know.
Yeah, I don't think they're the worst because it can later on like shape you into something else. But yeah, It is like just on the fly. Like you don't really think about it.
Yeah, it is. It's like
it could be good or bad though. You can definitely make a good emotional decision.
You think so? When you're really emotional?
Yeah, like how like corners or something, they say that they can just like they felt the ball was going there so they'll jump the route, shit like that. Like, that's a good emotional decision instead of just doing what you're supposed to.
Right, yeah. That's almost like an instinctive kind of like you get a feel for the field, you know, when you're out there. My brother, they played Homestead last week on Friday they played Homestead. And it was 35-35 at halftime. And Snyder came out. I think they scored right away. And then Homestead got the ball. And they have one stud wide receiver, right? Every time he gets the ball, he just like is making people miss. And he hits the end zone. Like every single time. And so Homestead's driving down the field, right? And they throw to this guy. And he catches it. And somebody hits him and slows him down. And then my brother comes flying across the field and hits him. But instead of taking him down, puts his arm in and rips the ball out. And then somebody scooped it up and ran it for like another 30 yards. And it just killed their momentum for the whole rest of the game. Like
that was like the changing factor of the game?
Yeah, it was. And he he
crazy.
felt it. Oh, dude, he came over to the sidelines. When he came, I thought he was going to hurt himself because he came over and he was like, yeah. like smacking himself in the head.
There's not that many players like that anymore.
No,
I feel like football
not.
always used to be like that, where people just went nuts.
Right.
Now it's just like,
Now a lot of them just go through the motions.
People are there for like high school. People are there for like the look and like the pictures and shit. College, they're just there to get to the NFL, and the NFL, they're just there for the money. It's like nobody's just playing just to play.
You don't think so?
Well, there are, but I mean that shit clutters it.
Yeah, I mean, they have goals set. Definitely, they want to do something, but see, he knew that like a play had to be made. You know, that was one thing that was like really good about Jesse Bates. Like he knew when a play had to be made to like change the momentum of a game, and he could just do it. Like he just did it. It's the first time I've seen my brother do something like that. And I think it's
special
like,
when it's in a defensive player because like a quarterback, they can literally have the momentum of the whole game.
Right.
But it's so special when a defensive player can like change the momentum of everything.
Because then it's like a flip.
They're so limited to plays and shit.
Right. It's rare. It's rare for that.
Like Ray Lewis, like he's probably the best ever to do it
when
it comes to defense.
That dude, man.
He just understood everything.
He did. He could change the momentum of a game with like a tackle.
Yeah.
Like just the way he hit people and then got up like he wasn't even phased. Like.
And then his speeches, like he had a way with words.
Oh yeah.
He sounded so powerful.
He was a great speaker. I think he still is a great speaker. Like.
I don't think they'll ever let somebody get to that level with religion again.
Because
he always talked about God and like made sure like the cameras and everybody knew what he was saying. I don't think we'll ever get anybody like that again.
Don't think so.
Nah, they're not gonna let it because they always try to like keep religion out of everything.
Right. I wonder why. I wonder why they do that.
Just to keep everybody happy because it'll just spark a whole argument.
Yeah. I mean, like, they wanted to take God out of the national anthem for a while and take it off our money and stuff, which I'm kind of indifferent. Like, it doesn't mean anything
it's
one
really
way or the other.
insignificant.
It is. It's just about, like, they want to be politically correct. They don't want to offend anybody. Like, if you don't believe in God, like, they think you're going to get offended when you read the dollar bill and be like, God's on here? You know? But then who's they? Like, I said they.
We all know who they is.
Who's they?
But we don't know who they is.
We always, this guy that I run the truck with at Restore, like, when we go to pick up, I don't know if I can say that or not, but.
They probably don't even know what you said.
No, probably not. But anyway, we go and pick up furniture and stuff, and we talk, like we have deep talks and stuff, and sometimes I'll say this, well, that's the way they want it. And he'll look at me and go, who's they? And I'll be like,
you don't fuck with they?
I don't know. I don't think so. He doesn't fuck with they. He says if you can't say who they are, then there is no they.
So he doesn't believe in God?
No, he does.
Then that doesn't make any sense. Because God is like a they.
Well, it's different. Kind of. But you can attribute...
Why? Because it was written? Because there's no book written about they yet? You can't believe in it?
But they is... I mean, God is at least an idea.
So is they. Like, there's an idea behind they. We know they're higher than everybody else. And there's... it's definitely like a limited amount of people that can be they.
Like... The ones who influence, like...
Yeah, like the ones that make all the decisions. Because at the end of the day, like, it has to be finalized by somebody or they, like a Supreme Court.
Like a group?
Yeah.
Right, but as soon as you say they as, like, a Supreme Court, then it's the Supreme Court.
No, I mean, I'm saying, like, that's probably how it's, like, made, the decisions. Mm-hmm. It's, like, a select few people just on a higher level.
Right.
Whatever.
Some of the most powerful, like,
it has
people.
Because if there is no they, like, who's running this?
That's kind of some, like, conspiratorial shit right there. We run this bitch, dude.
What if there's, like, what if, like, it's levels of people, like, we know there's somebody above us, and, it, like, these people that are above us, they know somebody's above us, and then it keeps going, but there really is no they. Everybody just keeps thinking there's somebody higher than them.
They're only they because we believe they are they?
Yeah, like, who we think they are, they don't even think that they're they. They think somebody else is they. They don't even
think that they're they. But who's...
That would be a good, like, artist name.
They. Thy. They.
Might use that.
They.
I'm sure it's been done before, though.
They Zonde. Chocolate Rain.
Desande? Trey Dejanay?
What?
You don't remember him?
No, Trey Dejanay? Who the fuck is that?
He played football with us freshman year.
Trey Dejanay?
He was light-skinned. He was a linebacker.
Oh, I don't remember that.
You remember when he broke his arm versus Dwenger, and then Coach Tip yelled at him because he didn't believe his arm was broke?
Oh, yeah. Okay,
That's Trey Dejanay.
I remember that kid.
Thinking, shut up! Your arm's not broke!
And then he came to school with the gas.
That was so fucked up.
It was fucked up.
Because he was crying the whole time Coach Tip was talking. He was like, shut up!
I don't think he ever played football again, dude.
He's one of those players that was always hurt, so he couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
He just wanted to show up to practice and wear the jerseys.
Coach Tip doesn't kill the spirit in the unlucky ones. He just kills the spirits in the weak ones.
Nah, do you think coaches definitely know who's weak?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For sure.
They know who's not, like, all in for it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I still remember when, we can't say names, dude. Fuck. Well, I mean...
First names?
Yeah, we can say first names. We were running sprints or something after practice because we didn't have a good practice, and... who was it? I think it was Javante. He's like, fuck this, I'm done, I ain't running anymore. And Coach Fields was like, you sure? You only got like 2 more? Javante's like, no, man, fuck this. They're like, all right, bye. And then he left. He was off, dude. He was done. Like,
oh, that was it for that was senior year?
He never came back. Yeah, he never came back.
Damn. Yeah, that shows you how much respect they have for you if they just let you go.
I mean, you don't. I mean, they're not like there to keep you there. You know, you're there voluntarily.
But
you're not
it's,
being forced.
It's senior year, so they like analyzed you. They know who you are, so it's like fuck it. Like there's people right behind you.
True. Yeah, that's the great thing about Snyder. It's that like no matter who's behind you, like first string, second string, third string, they can all do the job just as well. Sometimes. They're not going to be like playmakers. They're not going to be difference makers, but they can get in there and do the fundamentals and like work. They can roll as a cog, you know.
But I think they're kind of losing it. I feel like.
You think so?
It was definitely like a better oiled machine when we were going into Snyder.
It just seemed so much bigger. They all seem so much bigger.
They were though. Like you look at the people above us and like the people that are in their grade that they were now, they're so small.
Right.
Everybody's just fast.
Yeah.
There's no size. There is, but it's like spotty.
They're all very much like they could almost all play 7-on-7. You know, like the O linemen can't. They can't do that. They can't do that shit, dude.
Yeah, Snyder's O linemen are getting like stubby.
Besides tall. Randy, have you seen Randy, dude?
He plays nose guard too.
Yeah. 71. He is so big, dude. It's hard for him to walk. Like out on the field.
Is he young?
I think he's a junior, but he's like getting looks from like Big Ten colleges just because of his size. Kid's like 6'4", like 3-something.
Let's talk about D lineman and O lineman from Alabama and LSU. You said you didn't watch it.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, dude.
Fuck.
Are there some like highlights we can watch or something?
It's not working.
You don't have any Wi-Fi? Damn.
But fucking Alabama's offensive line, holy shit. I think we only got 1 sack. Like, I think we only had like 1 pressure, and it was a sack. That was the only time we ever got close.
Damn.
I say we, but
we.
LSU.
We as you wear an Oregon State Beavers fucking shirt.
It fucking sucks because I'm an LSU fan, but I love watching, like, technique and just like a well-oiled team.
Yeah,
and Alabama's just so good.
I know. Like, I really like the Rams right now just because they're so all-around, like, good. The Rams are all-around good. And they just, like, it seemed like they had nothing for a long time. Like, no one gave a fuck about the Rams, dude. Now,
it's like the Warriors. The Warriors had shit. Like, nobody was a fucking Warriors fan.
Yeah, then out of nowhere, like, bang. They just got a bunch of studs.
They're fucking nuts, too.
I like the Rams coach, too, Sean McVay. He's like 37 or something, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Super young. Super young dude.
He's like blonde, isn't he?
I think so, yeah. It's funny because he kind of reminds me of Coach McVay. Like, in like, stature. Like, they're very similar.
Like, body type?
Which is, yeah. Like, in build, it's weird. But I like him. Just because he's so young. And he's like, it's like a fresh take on offense, you know?
I think it might be just like a, what's it called? Not beginner's luck, but like, he just came in here hot.
Kind of.
He's just going to, like, burn out.
I don't know.
Is this his first year?
It depends. No, he coached them last year too when they were like pretty good.
It was just 2 years then?
I think so. This is either his second or third year. But he's been doing really well. I like watching that because this team feels so new, whereas like the Patriots feel like an old team. Because Tom Brady's been there like ever since I can remember.
Just like 98 or something.
You know? Yeah, same thing with Breeze, dude.
Yeah.
Breeze and the Saints, they've been
I was
the
thinking
same
that
for
about
years.
Phillip Rivers. Like,
Yeah.
I saw a highlight of him, I'm like, this dude still plays?
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Like,
dude?
I remember, like, he was, like, kind of old when I was a kid. And you think that he'd be retired already.
Yeah, but he's like, I think he's actually like severely underrated as a quarterback.
I don't be watching it.
Because for a while, like he didn't have like any talent around him, but Chargers still like won some games because of Phillip Rivers.
He had LaDainian Tomlinson, though.
He did have LT for a
Fucking
while.
fucking
That
dog.
man was crazy, dude.
It's so many great
Crazy.
running backs haven't won a ring or a Super Bowl trophy, whatever they go by.
Mm-hmm.
Adrian Peterson,
He's never won really.
unless he won one with the Saints, but I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
But he was a fucking beast.
He still is actually.
He still plays?
He's playing for the Redskins,
my
dude.
God.
He's still like a fantasy like running back. Like he can be an RB too.
I thought he was fucking like injured and just got retired.
I actually traded him away earlier in the season because like I was like, oh, AP's doing really good right now. Like he's old, he's gonna get hurt. Like he's good trade bait, you know. So I traded him away for Chris Carson, some young guy from the Seahawks.
I never heard of him.
And AP's been doing well all year, and I kind of regret getting rid of him.
Fucking Frank Gore. Does he still play?
He still plays. He's a good running back, but he's not like a fantasy running back.
He's just like getting his money on the low. He just runs on Sundays. That's
He
basically
does,
it.
yeah. He runs the ball on Sundays.
I feel like
That's
he
pretty much it.
plays football like people wish they could play, where it's just like a job and like he goes home.
Mm-hmm. Afterwards, he's been healthy for so long too. Like,
But kind of like Marshawn Lynch, like they both just play on Sundays and that's it.
yeah, Marshawn Lynch
they're
is
good at it.
He's a beast, dude. Or he was anyway.
I saw him. He had a beast run this year.
Did
a few
he?
weeks ago.
Where he like broke out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he breaks out, it looks so like aggressive.
It does.
He kind of runs
dude.
like Jabri. Remember how Jabri used to run? High
he
step.
does. That's the best running backs look for contact. I sincerely think that's how the best running backs are.
Yeah.
Because the ones that are squishy, like you hit them and they just like bounce around. Most of the
Is
defense,
there like a legendary running back who was like just known for running?
I mean, Jerome Bettis was like out there running people over. He was.
No, I mean like just known for just running and scoring and
Just
not running
the
people
ball.
over.
Kareem Hunt's kind of that way.
Yeah.
He plays for the Chiefs right now, but I'm trying to think.
Barry
of somebody else.
Sanders,
Barry Sanders. He was pretty shifty.
He didn't really avoid people though. Like he just like if they came to him, he just knew how to get around it.
He made people miss. He really made people miss.
Cause like Herschel Walker, Adrian Peterson, Jim Brown, like all those dudes, they're known. Jerome Bettis, they're known for just
LT.
running people over. Reggie
LT
Bush.
Well, LT was really fast, and yeah, Reggie Bush has some really nasty hits. But Marshawn Lynch, dude, beast mode. He's another thing altogether.
He has like a Derek Lewis personality. How they just say stupid shit.
Right. I love the interviews with him, dude. Or the press conferences they
Derek
have.
Lewis or Marshawn Lynch?
With Marshawn Lynch.
I haven't seen one in a while.
It's so ridiculous. I don't know why anybody shows up anymore. Like, reporters show up, they still trying to ask him questions, and he's just like, I'm just here so I won't get fined. Y'all know I'm not going to answer any of your questions, so you don't have to ask me any more questions at all. And then they'll ask him more questions about his life, and he'll say the same thing. Like, I'm not going to answer any of your questions, so we can just sit here for the next 20 minutes.
I think they keep coming because they know eventually he's going to crack and say something.
You think
say
so?
something funny. Like that one clip.
I would ask him something hilarious, dude. But I don't know what I would ask him.
I could probably get him to laugh.
What? How do you browse Pornhub? What category do you search by?
But you got to be careful with that profession though, because you can lose credibility. You can just
True,
be seen as a
that's true.
troll. Like that's their fucking job, is to get answers.
That's true. But I mean, like with Marshawn Lynch, like
I wonder if, say there's like a person from like Fox and a person from like Sports Center. If the dude from Fox asks a question and he gets the answer, I wonder if he's only allowed to publish that answer first, like Fox. I wonder how that works.
I think so. There's kind of like some like journalistic, they call it journalistic integrity, where like you're not gonna take somebody else's story that they've already like got. So I mean, it'd just be kind of shitty because you could quote Marshawn Lynch saying that, like somebody asks him a question, and he answers this guy's question. I don't know if anybody else can take that and put it into their article.
It's weird to think about.
It is weird to think about. Like just like
They'd be beefing up there. They probably like beef to get to the front.
I think they yeah.
But if you've been like doing it for like 10 years or whatever, like you just have that respect from people.
Right. Yeah.
Everything, like if you think about it, everything feels like in high school. Like you slowly earn respect, and like then you finally get to that point where like you're the one and everybody just respects you.
Right.
That's how I feel about my job. Because you like
yeah.
move up within the company. They don't really hire from like if you graduate college or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like everybody's just like trying to respect the older people so they can get up there, and it's weird.
Right. There's sort of a hierarchy that you like climb.
Yeah, that's
or
what
like
it
a
is.
social hierarchy that you climb, which is weird. And like in school, you know, like in elementary school, like you'd be 5th grade, you'd be top dog, and then you go to middle school and you're like a little fish in a big pond again, you know. And it resets.
I don't even think it like it's a real thing. We just think it is. Like it's oh fuck, I'm in 6th grade. Like, I don't know what to do. It's really not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's kind of like learned. It's only because you put the title on it, like.
And the teachers scare you with it.
Yeah.
Next year you're not going to be anything.
Yeah. Next year it's going to be totally different. You're going to have no idea what to do.
Everything is like a hierarchy. It feels like even life, like we're all trying to get up one step above each other and be respected.
I think so. There's like a natural sort of hierarchy that takes place. I think like even if we weren't here, there'd be a hierarchy for us to follow, you know? It's just sort of like nature's way of organizing things.
Mm-hmm. I haven't thought about some deep shit like that in a while. There was a period where I only thought like that for like weeks.
Really? Did you write anything down?
No.
No?
I have been writing a little bit though. Just like thoughts.
Mm-hmm. I need to write more. I need to use that as my outlet. Some of this emotional tension out that I have built up. I've been thinking about God a lot recently. Just because, like, you know, working at Habitat, like, most of the people there are very religious. And I don't think I could ever bring myself to believe in God. Just because, like, I just can't. Like, I like the idea, you know. I think Jesus was a real person. And I think what he did was awesome. Like,
I think that's all it is, though. It is just an idea.
Yeah.
But it all makes sense. Like, there's obviously something. And even if that something isn't a person, there's, like, just physically something that created everything. And that's what God is. That's why when, like, people say the universe and then when people say God, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
They have the same
one and the
belief,
same.
just, like, believe in different things.
Right. Like, everybody believes we were put here. You know? I mean, even if it was from random chance, like, the universe still put us here.
Yeah, or the Big Bang could be considered God.
Right.
It's just an idea.
Yeah.
People be, like, thinking, I mean, it's meant to, like, think deeper, but people, like...
People overthink it.
Yeah.
I just can't, I could never take it as truth.
No,
You know?
those stories, like, it's fucking ridiculous sometimes.
Yeah, like if Jesus, I believe Jesus was a real person, but if he did all the shit that like they said he did in the Bible, he'd be a fucking superhero. Like we would know.
That's what it's meant to seem like, though.
Right. So it's hyperbole, essentially. You know, they're exaggerating Jesus's ability.
It's a well-written book.
It is. It's a very well-written book. I think it's sort of a guideline on how to, like, be human, or how to, like, treat other humans, you know?
Like, you could probably take Holy Bible off the cover and put how to live life for dummies, and it'd be like the same thing.
Right. It would feel sort of
it's just
like the same thing.
The idea of, like, religion in the Bible is, like, people are fed up with that shit.
Yeah.
But I feel like at the core of everybody, we all believe the same shit.
Mm-hmm. We need a God, or something like it.
We could see or something.
Something bigger, like, than just us.
Fuck, you can't even think about that.
Like, there's some sort of innate need for it in people. Like, think about, like, the very first people, like Egyptians. Like, they had multiple gods. And then after that, you know, there were, like, Roman gods. And there were, like, Norse gods. For some reason, humans, like, need some sort of God to believe in, which is
it's
weird.
a necessity, though. Because if we didn't have anything to believe in,
it would
fucking
feel
go
pointless.
insane. Everybody would be killing themselves.
Right. It would feel absolutely pointless. And the old gods get replaced with new gods all the time. So, like, what if we're in a stage where we're replacing the old God? Like, the God of the Bible. Like, what if we're replacing it with something else?
Probably, but, like, that's such a long stretch, we probably won't even see that.
You don't think so?
That's something that will be seen, like, over 100 years. Hundreds of years. I mean, I guess we could be at the tail end, but I don't feel like it. I feel like we're just starting.
Yeah, I think
we're just starting maybe, like, 30 years, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you think about it, Christianity is, like, the largest religion in the States, anyway. Like, it's the most practiced religion. I'm not sure what religion's the most practiced throughout the world.
It's got to be Christianity or Islam.
You think so? Yeah, it's got to be one of the two.
Because Islam was before Christianity, so I wouldn't be surprised.
I think Islam... I don't know if Islam is the longest lasting, or if, like Hinduism and, like,
no, I don't know if they're
Buddhism,
the first,
like,
but I know that they were before Christianity.
Right, yeah. Islam came, like, really early on.
Well, if you think about it, Buddhism, even if it wasn't created, it's always been here, and that could be considered the first. You know what I mean? Like, that whole philosophy of just, like,
oh yeah,
mm-hmm. Somebody just created it,
right,
or made it easily understandable to others.
Mm-hmm. They made it accessible. I like the idea. I like how Buddhism looks at things.
I guess you could say they all were created then, because they were all, like, thought of.
I think they were. I think almost all religions were.
It was almost meant to be like this. It was meant for all these different beliefs.
Kind of.
Because if it wasn't for them, the world wouldn't be how it is.
Yeah, it wouldn't be how it is now, and we wouldn't know, like, how to treat other people. You know? It's like a staple of civilization, is to have, like, a religion to follow.
I wonder if we are just, like, spinning our wheels. What if there's a whole different belief that we haven't even tapped into yet? Like, right now, at the core of everything, it's, like, good or bad, good and evil, white or dark and light. What if there's, like, a totally different belief that we're not even, like, seeing?
Like, there's something, like, a gray area in between the white and the black.
And there's, like, a whole idea around that, but nobody's, like, fucking figured it out yet. And we've just been stuck in this fucking path.
I feel like if anyone were to tap into it, it would be us. And we would do it right here.
Maybe. If we think about it right before we die.
Right. We just on our deathbed. I get it. Die.
I already know what my last words are going to be.
What?
They're going to be, who do I do it for? Because I ask myself that, like, who do I do shit for? Because not really. Because if it was for me, I wouldn't, like, drive a car. Like, I'd just be chilling. Like, I wouldn't care to have a girlfriend, an apartment, because I know how I think. So I kind of, like, drive a car, go to school for other people. Like, I want to be seen as successful for other people when I really don't care about it. So I don't know who I do it for, really.
Do you think at least, like, when you do those things, you stay true to yourself?
I try to.
In some capacity.
But that's, like, one of the hardest things is to stay true to yourself, because everything pulls you away.
It's one of the most important things to do, you know, Stay true to yourself. I think I've come to realize that like part of me, there's like a part of me that wants to serve people, or like serve a cause, or like be a part of like something bigger, you know? So I think as long as I stay true to that, you know, I think I'll be okay. Because that's like the most I could ever do is like give back, you know?
Yeah.
At least that's what it feels like. That's, you know.
I feel like that
me.
too, but also because I always look at like every side of everything, and then I realize how I can't serve everybody, and then like that'll get me to like snap out of what I was doing or whatever, and then it's like a ongoing like it's like a circle in my head where I start to believe something and it's going good, and then I like start to think the other side, just start all over,
and then it loops back around. It's sort of a feedback loop. Yeah, there are days where like I don't always like feel like serving people. I don't always feel like going into work, you know. I want to do shit for myself. There was one day I went into work. I realized why I love my job the other day, because I went in and I was kind of in a shitty mood. You know, that seasonal depression is setting in, and like I didn't want to get up, and like I didn't want to go, and I just didn't want to deal with people. And there was this one guy who came in there, and he was... I want to describe him because I don't remember his name. He has like a ponytail, and he's an older dude, and he kind of like his jaw's kind of set like out, you know. So when he talks, he kind of has like this like I don't want to say like
pirate,
kind of, but like kind of, but more like a trailer park-esque pirate, you know. And he's wearing like dirty clothes, and like he's
I'm picturing Courage the Cowardly Dog.
He kind of
the grandpa
Eustace, kind of picture Eustace in like all Walmart apparel, but dirty. And like this guy, like for a while I thought he was hopped up on something, because like the way his like eyes like darted around, the way his like jaw moved, like it looked like he was on something. So I was like, oh, I really don't want to fucking help this guy, you know. But he needed my help, and I went over and like I talked to him, and he was buying a stove. And he explained to me that his neighbor's like 80 something years old, like 81 or 82, and he lived in a trailer park, and the trailer park association came by, and they told him his house was unfit to live in.
Damn.
And because it was so run down, this old man's house, and he was like stuck in a wheelchair, like he has oxygen, like he can't fix it himself, and they told him like they were gonna kick him out if they couldn't do anything for his house. So this guy, who's his neighbor, just decides to do it all for him. Just decides to like fix up this guy's house so he doesn't have to go anywhere. And when I realized that like I'm now like a part of that, because this guy's like, I need like a stove, you know, I need this, and like I can help him find something, you know, I can help him find whatever he needs in the store. And that just kind of like shifted my whole day. Like it made me feel like I was a part of something like bigger than I actually am, you know.
It's weird.
It is weird. It changed my perspective, and he keeps coming back in, and every time he comes back in, like I help him, like, you know, what do you need now? Like, let's go find it, you know, like let's go get it. It's just a really good feeling, you know. It's super rewarding.
I don't even know what to say, because I work in fucking sales, and I never think like that. I'm always just like, get out of my face, I don't care.
Right.
It's because I don't really want to, that's not what I want to help people with, so I don't care.
Yeah.
Even though it, like, because it's pain, like, it's there. It's a big choice for them. But I just don't really care about it.
Yeah, and I mean, you only sell one thing, too, you know? Paint.
Yeah, I guess it gets very, very repetitive. I'm at the stage now where I feel like even though I'm still like at the bottom of the totem pole, I feel like I've like, I understand the job to where it's just like, I'm not learning anything anymore.
Right.
I'm not learning anything within the job or like the system of the job.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just feel stuck.
You're not like progressing anymore because there's nowhere else to like go, kind of.
But there is ways to progress. Like I could move up, learn more, but I really don't want to.
Yeah. See, most of the time it's not worth it.
Hell no, it's
like
not.
like at the like where I work, if they wanted to promote me to a manager, like the pay bump I would get would not be worth the amount of responsibility that I would take on. You know.
And they
So I
always say
wouldn't do
shit
it.
like, when you get to this position, that's when you start making good money. And I don't want to fucking go through 15 years of doing the
Right.
same thing just to make good money.
Right. I want to do something that I like, you know. I was thinking about, I talked to a lady that came in the store. She was in the Peace Corps for a while. She spent like 3 years in somewhere in South America. And she's been fighting off disease when she came back because, like, they don't have, like, doctors, you know. Like, wherever she was, it was, like, third world country kind of shit. But she came back and she said it was, like, besides, you know, how run down it was and how much of a change it was from, like, our normal life, she said it was the best thing she'd ever done. And I can't imagine that would ever be the best thing you've ever done.
What was the best thing she's ever done again?
She went and lived in a third world country, like, for the Peace Corps. And what they do is they bring, like, there's different, like, sections you can go into. Like, you can help teach this, like, you know, like a third world town how to, like grow crops correctly, or, like, how to, like, clean their water so that they actually have, like, fresh water. And you can, like, teach, like, you can teach kids, like, simple math and, like, English where they don't have, like, schools and stuff. And she was a part of that, and she said it was, like, the greatest thing she'd ever done.
I could see why, though. Because there's so many people who are in need of it.
Right, for sure. And you kind of give that, you know. And I don't know if they pay you, but it's not, like, you know, she wasn't about the payment. And she didn't even really care that she got sick while she was down there, you know. She just was caring that she was making a difference somewhere in the world.
I feel like I'd enjoy that too.
I think that'd be really cool.
I just want to be in a place where I'm not thinking about America anymore and the way America
Right.
works.
Yeah, I need to get out of this. I feel like I'm trapped here. Like, I feel like I'm trapped in this lifestyle of fast food and fast cars and fucking...
It's programming.
And fucking...
That's what it feels like. It just
it
feels like
is.
programming. Don't even
It
feel
is.
real.
It feels like one big satire. You know, American life feels like a joke.
And I think we feel this way because we know what, like, how our true self is supposed to feel. Because as kids, like, we were slowly getting exposed to stuff, but we were our purest self from day
Right.
one, and then we just get tampered with as we live.
Yeah.
So we've been, like, very pure before, where nothing, like, we didn't really care about anything.
There's no outside influence to
But
it.
you grow to care or be told to care about shit when it doesn't really matter.
Right. We're sort of... we're conditioned in a way. The American condition.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I'm so tired of, like, the American way of life. I'm so tired of it.
It's
And
draining as fuck.
It is draining, and it makes you feel like you're never good enough.
Oh my god.
It makes you feel like you're never good enough. Like, your status has to do with what kind of car you drive.
You can't enjoy anything.
No, you can't. You really can't.
I feel like we just tell ourselves we're enjoying shit. And everything that we want to enjoy, like, you have to pay for it, which is a whole nother stress.
Right.
Nothing's, like, genuine, it feels like.
No, nothing's genuine. Even like the interactions I have with people on, like, a daily. Some people, it feels like.
It's so forced, like, it almost hurts.
Yeah, like, you ever play Skyrim?
Mm.
So there are characters in the game called NPCs. They're non-playable characters, but you can talk to everybody in the game. So they just have, like, structured responses for everything that you do.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah. That's exactly what it feels like.
Yeah.
I feel like, fuck, dude, like, am I in the Matrix or something right now?
Yeah.
Like, what is this? Like,
I always find myself in those situations, like, being that NPC, but not knowing what to say. Like, I understand, like, the tone in which somebody's saying something to me, and I think, like, oh, I should say this right now, but it's not really me, so I don't say it, and then it's just like an awkward pause, because I don't want to, like, play that fucking game.
Yeah, you don't want to play that role. I do that. I do that when I work register.
Yeah.
When I work the register, it fucking sucks, dude, because I'm, like, not using my brain at all. Like, besides
And
counting money.
and you're not even allowed to. That's the thing.
No, I know.
Like, there's fucking standards in which you have to think.
Yeah.
And what to say.
Like, I would sit there and, like, you know, if I didn't have anything to do, like, I'd be reading. And they'd be like, oh, well, you have to, like, do some work. Like, what do you want me to do? They want me to tag, like people will donate, like, boxes full of, like, mason jars. Like, here you go. Like, clean these and tag each one of them at 25 cents. It's like, fuck, dude, I gotta do this for 3 hours at a time? Fuck that, dude. I can just feel my brain turning to mush, like, as I do it.
I was just looking for jobs today, like, where I can be in a creative space. Like, I was emailing people because sometimes they don't have, like applications that I can fill out or anything, so I would just email them, ask for opportunity. I just need to do something different. This customer service is driving me insane.
I'm sure. I feel like there's a part of me that feels like I'm going to, like, fall into a spot where I can, like, be creative and be successful at the same time. But I also don't want to just rely on that, because if I do, then nothing will ever happen for me. So I kind of have to actively, like, seek out. I need to do what you're doing. Just, like, reach out to people, you know?
And that's such a, like, small chance, because you know how hard it is for people with the criteria, like degrees and shit, to find a job. So imagine, like, somebody with no what's the word, like, accolades or anything, just asking for something. But prospects. In my eyes, if I was, like, the manager, this is how I view it. It's like, if somebody emailed me with something like that, like, in dire need of, like, a chance, I feel like I'd give them a chance.
Yeah, some people will, you know, if they see. Sometimes I think it's more valuable to have drive than it is to have a degree.
Yeah, that's how I see it.
You know, because you can. I mean, a degree does show that you have drive on some level, but at the same time, like, if you go to college right now, you understand that you basically pay for your degree. Like, as long as you keep paying for school, you get through it eventually and get your degree. You know, so I mean, there's drive there, but there's also a lot of money involved that you have to pay. Like,
money ruins everything. I was just talking about this the other day. I forget what it was about, but anytime, like, something is just, like, enjoyed at one time, if you throw money in the mix, it fucks everything up.
Oh yeah,
it's never the same after that.
Money really does fuck everything up.
There's not one instance you can, like, put money in and it'll help something.
Right. I mean, unless you're donating to, like, you know, a cause.
Yeah,
somewhere.
But I honestly don't even trust that. Like, you know, like the children's hospital donations and shit. Like, we've been donating since I was a fucking baby and before that. Like, is it really even doing anything?
Right.
It doesn't seem like anything ever gets fixed.
Yeah, it seems like it never gets done.
I'd rather see my money, like, get used instead of just fucking giving it.
Like the breast cancer awareness stuff. A couple of years ago, people figured out that, like, most of the profit they were making on the pink gear, like, you remember when the NFL wore, like, all pink stuff? Most of the profit that they were making on that, the breast cancer, like, for breast cancer awareness, was not actually going to breast cancer research.
See, that's why I don't like that shit.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's just like the church. You know how many cases I've read and, like, seen videos of where these pastors, like, with those mega churches down south, like, all those tithes is really, like, their paycheck, and, like, it doesn't, like, keep the, I mean, it does pay the bills, but they don't need that much, especially when you're asking for it.
Right. It feels weird. Wrong. It's like you're selling hope, which is fucked up. Like, televangelists, you ever see those guys?
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. You're selling holy water.
That's so fucked, man. It's so fucked up. And you're scamming people is what you're doing. You're fucking scamming people, which is bullshit.
But also,
I don't know how those people, like, sleep.
Another side of that is, like, people, they're just trying to live. Like, that's their means of living.
Right.
So,
but can't you do it in a non-slimy way?
So I feel like, honestly, some people just give up, and, like, I feel like that's where the idea of selling your soul comes from. It's like you lose all morality, and you just, like, you know, you're consciously doing something stupid for profit. And I feel like that's what selling your soul is.
It's kind of sad, you know?
It is. It's sad on both parts, though, because people get to a point where, like, they're tired of feeling like us. Like, I can easily be, like, the next Boom Gang, you know what I mean?
Right.
And just, like, fucking blow up quick. But I haven't got to that point yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll never have to.
I'll stop you if you get to that point.
Because have you
start
heard that
acting
dude's
like
story?
Book, dude.
Like, I know he's a fucking idiot, but have you heard his story? Like, he was literally homeless. And so
Really?
he made all these videos of him, like, stealing from Dunkin' Donuts and Popeyes and shit so he can get some fucking money to live. It's sad. Like, it really is.
Sad.
That we have to
And now he's,
do
like-
this shit to get money.
He's so famous now, like...
And he wants to kill himself.
He has more money than he knows what to do with.
Yeah, you seen that video where he shot himself? And the next day, he's, like, crying, like, I can't trust anybody around me, and, like, I'm sad as fuck, but these drugs make me feel good. It was, like, one of the saddest videos I've ever seen.
There's a No Jumper interview where he comes on and he's so fucked up that he, like, can't, like, sit down and, like, talk. And
Yeah, and he's seen as cool.
it's
in a way.
sad. It's, yeah.
His friends
the
are
younger
laughing and
generation.
shit.
Yeah, they're, like, you know, having a good time.
Oh, he's
partying.
lit. He's faded.
It's self-destructive behavior. And sometimes it just goes too far. It started with rock and roll. That's where the self-destructive behavior started.
And it's
bled
only
over to
America,
rap
I feel
music.
like. Back to America. Because I work, my manager is Asian, and he's from Thailand, I think, and then I also work with a dude from Burma. And they were born there, lived there, and came here. So they have a totally different mindset, and it's so interesting to hear it. Because they don't give a fuck about any of this shit.
Right. They don't have that sort of self-destructive, like, you know, mindset to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are times when I just want to go out and break shit. I don't know why, but I just have the urge to just, like, destroy things around me.
Yeah, I
don't know
I
why
get the
that
urge to
is.
yell a lot. I'm always yelling in the car.
I do that. I did that the other day, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do it, and I hear myself, and I'm like, okay, like, calm down a second. Oh, but I stole a Subway sandwich the other day. On accident.
How? Oh.
Okay. Well, I didn't do it on accident. Okay. Okay. So
The opportunity was presented and you took it.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah. Essentially, I thought, you know what? I'm gonna take this one.
It was God.
It was God. I went to the drive-thru, man, and she took my order, and I get up to the window, and a lady comes up with the sub, opens the window, hands me the sub, closes the window, turns around, and I was sitting there with my card in my hand, like,
Was she busy or something?
I don't know, but as she's turning around and closing the window, she's like, hey, did anybody ring this guy up yet? And I sat there. I waited for like 2, 3, maybe 5 minutes, dude, for them to come back. I had enough time to take a video. I showed the sub, and I showed the window, and I like put it back like on my face, and I was like, should I just leave with this sandwich? I waited long enough to get a response from the group that I was in, and they were like, do it. And so I took a video of me driving off. Like,
I guess. Maybe, fuck it.
Is
It's just a
theft?
sandwich. I mean,
Yeah, it's just a sandwich.
you know how much food they throw away? They can fucking risk losing one sub.
Right.
It's like 3 cents to them.
I felt sort of guilty. I felt sort of guilty, though, to be honest.
I wouldn't. Because, like, the
You
way I
wouldn't?
think, it's like, I've been eating Subway for how long? And I've never stole from you, so can I have one sandwich?
Right.
That's how I view, like, Walmart and shit. Every time I go shopping, I eat while I'm shopping and then just throw the shit away.
Oh, really?
All
my
the time.
God. That's terrible.
And I keep it in my cart till the very end, because if anybody says something, I'll just be like, well, I was going to pay for it.
Right, yeah, then you can just have them ring up the empty container.
But it's, like, so minuscule to the grand scheme of, like, their money.
Right.
It's just a sandwich.
It is. But for some reason, I still felt bad. Like, I told myself, you know, it's just a sandwich, like...
You think they're going to, like, fucking look at your license plate and shit?
I kind of did, dude. I kind of thought, like, maybe they'd go look at the camera, but, like, the fuck does it matter? Like, I didn't run in there with a gun and, like, make me a sandwich! You know? Like, they gave it. Like, it was basically their fault.
It's really not that big of a deal.
I know, but I still feel bad.
That happened to me with Smoothie King. We
Really?
had 2 large smoothies, which is like $16.
What the fuck?
And they handed it to us and said, have a good day. And I just like, okay.
Okay, cool. We were in Tennessee once, and we ordered pizza, and Riley walks into the Domino's, and he said he had a carry-out order and that he paid online, and they just gave him the pizzas, and he walked out. Like, I consider that a user error. Like, it's on them,
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's kind of on them.
You know how when I worked at McDonald's, you know how much free food I realized customers can get? You can literally, like, order your food, get in the drive-thru, come back, or call. Be like, you forgot 2 chicken sandwiches, a 10-piece nugget.
And they just give it.
McDonald's is just like, fuck it. Like, because it's so insignificant, they don't even care.
Right. It means nothing,
Like, there was this form that got printed out one day saying, like, how much inventory was off. It said, like, 700 cookies were missing, like, 500 nuggets. But then they had the price next to it, and, like, 500 nuggets was literally, like, $13.
What the fuck?
And I was like, are you kidding me?
Like $13, dude.
$13 will get you, like, 20 nuggets for a customer.
That's ridiculous, man. Whoa.
They don't give a fuck. Like, that, they get that food for so cheap.
Oh, yeah. For sure. It's making me hungry now when we're talking about it.
I haven't had McDonald's in a while. I
Oh,
forced myself to... I was driving, the Pierres with the McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
I pulled in to get McDonald's, and I was about to turn, and I was like, I can't do it. And I just drove over.
Drove off. You made a last minute decision.
I was like, while I was like driving slow, I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna get like 2 McChickens, and then I just drove away because I knew I was gonna feel like shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it always makes me feel like shit.
It feels so good, but
it's so good going
so
down,
bad.
dude. It's so good going down. That triple cheeseburger.
All that grease and cheese.
Oh my god.
That texture.
We're gonna get fat, Eli. We're gonna be fat by the time we're 40.
I have the potential to be so obese.
So do I, dude. I could be way obese.
I feel like I will get to a point though where I realize that I need to stop caring about my weight, and I'll just like get really fat, and I'll probably die.
I'll just get really fat.
I feel like that's how I'll die. I'm either gonna get assassinated, or I feel like I'm gonna die eating.
Wait, why would you get assassinated? That's so random.
Because I'm trying to get to a point where like my voice is powerful and like it means something, and I feel like if I ever get there,
You're trying to be MLK, dude.
I don't know what I'm gonna be.
Get popped off your porch at the hotel.
Anybody who's been significant like that, I don't want to be in that way. I want to be a total opposite. Like I want to be a figure.
You want to be Malcolm X?
No, I don't want to be anybody. I want to be known for me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to get killed for. I kind of want to get killed for being me.
Really?
It's kind of like a satisfying thought. Like people want to kill me.
You're so like
outspoken and like speaking
you're so
the truth.
genuinely you that people can't handle it.
And I want to get killed for it. I feel like that's a great way to go out.
Mm-hmm. Hey, there's some people. There's that dude wearing a vest, bro. What?
There's a quote that somebody said, legends always get I forget how
Heroes
it goes.
get remembered, but legends never die.
No, not that one.
That's Sandlot
all legends get killed or something like that, and I feel like that's very true.
Tupac?
Almost everybody.
He got killed.
That's why people won't kill Trump, because they don't want him to go down as a
They
legend.
don't want him to be martyred. I got into an argument on Reddit with somebody over Donald Trump the other day.
That type of week.
I got downloaded to fucking hell, dude. Because they were trying to say, so, you know the shooting in Pittsburgh that happened?
The synagogue?
Yeah, all those people died. I saw this thread on Reddit. It was about the letter that the synagogue put out. And they basically condemned Donald Trump, saying that like it was his fault because of his use of like violent rhetoric at his speeches. And I can't agree with that, because when I took my rhetoric class last year, we read about the idea that rhetoric is a response to actions, and that actions, like rhetoric never causes the action, it's only ever in response. Because like your voice has power, but you can never like cause something like that to happen indirectly. Like it just doesn't happen that way. For you to say that the way Donald Trump talks, you think so?
Because Donald Trump can start a war with something he says.
He could, but is it the rhetoric that he uses then is in response to something else? Like, he's not using that rhetoric to start a war.
It can be. Like, I feel like the rhetoric can be whatever you said, the opposite.
It can cause the action.
Yeah, because he can literally just tweet like, nuke me, or what about the nuke North Korea, and that, like, for no reason, and that could start it. So it can be, but
right. In this situation with the shooter, I don't think anything Donald Trump said would influence the shooter either way.
Yeah.
Like, I just think
there's no even way even to figure that out.
You can't put the two together. Like, it's a hypothesis, right? Like, maybe what Donald Trump said, planted in the mind of this person who was unstable that he needs to go kill all these Jews in a synagogue. Maybe.
I guess
But you can't present it.
You can prove it, though. Like, if you could ask
do the
him
work.
or, like, research him to see that that's what he was inspired by.
Right. You can do the math.
But it's literally just a theory right now.
Essentially. But people, they were presenting it as a conclusion in, like, the comments. Like, they were condemning Donald Trump for it, and I was like, I was trying to attack the idea, I was trying to say, like, look, if you, you have to think logically about this. Like, you're taking this hypothesis and you're presenting it as a conclusion before you have any sort of evidence that Donald Trump influenced this guy. And I just got, like, spammed with, like, videos of Donald Trump saying, if I was in a locker room, I'd beat this guy up. Or, like, if there are protesters here, just punch him in the face. Like, okay, yeah, he says some, like, really violent, like, fucked up shit. I don't like Donald Trump. He's an asshole. But to say that just because he said that caused this guy to go shoot up, like, a church, you can't logically say that. I mean, it might be true, but it also might not.
But you also got to look that you're on Reddit and, like, what type of people really are they? Like, they are conspiracy theorists and shit like that.
It's super left-wing, super liberal. So, when I tried to present the idea, like, let's think through it. Like, I tried to play devil's advocate so that we can further the idea.
It's the internet.
I got downvoted to fucking oblivion.
You're going to lose that battle 11 times out of 10.
11
You'll
times
never
out of
beat
10.
the internet.
I was just trying to, like, it seems
Save
like
it.
Logic doesn't. People aren't using logic, dude.
But people, like, they don't want to. That's the thing. That's their escape of using logic. They just want to be stupid. I don't even feel like half the people actually think that way.
You think?
Because you never come across those people. You never come across, like, the shit people be commenting on videos and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody will ever say shit like that in real life. It's just an escape.
Yeah, you're true.
And they're just like, they like to see you triggered. They like to troll.
I did get kind of triggered because I was like, fuck, these people are stupid. Like, these people are fucking morons. Like, they can't even step back and look at the whole picture. They're just so ready to hate Donald Trump that they believe anything that's negative about him.
Yeah, you're wasting your breath.
There's no... I just wish I could infuse logic into the brains of all the Americans out there, dude. I wish I could.
You need to start a cult.
I could do that. We could probably start a cult.
I feel like I could, but it's too much energy.
Too much work. Too little payoff.
Way too much work. I feel like starting a cult was, like, very popular back then. It was like starting a band.
It was like starting a podcast.
People just started cults like it was nothing. You never hear about cults anymore.
No, you don't. Well, I think most of the good ones are, like, hidden cults.
The good
like,
ones?
They're secret. Yeah, the good cults are secret cults.
I want to be in a cult. I want to know some shit nobody knows.
I want to be in some secret
Or think I know some
society
shit. I used to work with a Freemason.
Really? I wouldn't consider that a cult, though. It's kind of cult-y. It's kind of cult-esque.
It's very weird.
But it is really, yeah, they have some, like, weird traditions.
He was like a level 3, though.
He was level 3 clearance. He'd been on the spaceship already.
No, that's like 50.
It's level 50. Then you get to prestige. Start over.
Level 50, you turn into they.
You turn into they. You go from a Freemason to they.
I'm gonna start using that. I'm gonna start calling myself a they.
They. in class, you'd be like, my preferred pronoun is they.
I want to get to the point where Eli's a synonym to they.
I'm trying to think about how I'd use that in a sentence.
You'd just be like, I just did this podcast with they a few hours ago.
With they.
I was talking to they. Everybody's like, who is they?
He is they. They is he. It is synonymous. They are one and the same.